It certainly gave a couple bumps and bruises to the sides of that O2 machine. And looks like we have someone in chat says, is there a rain delay? It might have been on the start of it. But let me know if you guys are having any issues now. The stream should have started. If it didn't, please let me know. But nonetheless, we'll go back live and check out how things are looking towards the front of the field here. Where Richard Elliott, you saw he fell back after that. But up front, it is still all Austin Fitzgerald. But now Tyler Marble starting to close that gap up just a little bit here. Down to under half a second is the 48. As we see, Joshua Watson has now moved up to the 6th position. Jeff Marble up to 3rd as well. And don't be surprised here if at least by halfway through this race, we see all of your championship 4 making up the top 16, or excuse me, top 4. Going back further through the field, everybody just about single filed out by now. 64 of Glenn Grigsby back here, and a couple people looks like saying just started. Man, oh man, I'm not sure why that's the case. We were here since the start of the race. I was sitting here commentating, and it showed that I was live. And man, that's going to be a bummer. We'll have to get things figured out, see if we can fix whatever issues happen after the race. But right now, as we go back towards the front of the field, still closing the gap is Tyler Marble down to 3, about 0.4 of a second. And just working slightly different lines. Tyler not doing much different, but dirty air, certainly a little bit of a factor here at Phoenix when you're running speeds of over 100 miles an hour through these tight turns. And really only one line working here tonight, at least so far through 3 and 4. But you saw Tyler stayed more patient on the throttle, was able to stay down a little bit longer. Now he gets a run down the front straightaway. Austin Fitzgerald as they get in to turns 1 and 2. And I just realized these turns, they keep getting me flipped back and forth. Again, we know that the old Phoenix layout start-finish line was where what is now the back stretch. The front stretch now is what used to be the back straightaway. So as they all come down the back straightaway, Bill Benedict, you saw him back there having a pretty good run. Here's Brett Spod back in 19th. Johnny McCulchuk up in 18th. And Glenn Grigsby back in 23rd. Andrew Russo looks like has already fallen, maybe victim to a lap down, as him, Jeffrey Souza, and Cody Colley currently all not being shown on track with issues. And again, no stages in the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. So tonight it is all about who can get their car tuned the best by the end of this race and make a run to the front. So if you're out of these championship 4, your biggest fear is losing touch with the other 3. Right now I think Joshua Watson may be in a little bit of danger of that, but man, you see he is still slicing his way through the field. As the 0-1 jumps to the inside here of Cody Richardson, he'll try to take that spot. That'll put him in 5th. And Adrian Watts, his teammate, probably not going to put up too much of a fight. Once he gets that, it's all about setting his sights on the next top 3. I mean, we saw how separated the championship 4 were at the start. We had 2 on the front row, and then Jeff and Watson were spread out a little bit throughout your top 12. But now they've condensed down, and again, one more position here for Joshua Watson, and he will be that 4th and final championship contender, making up your top 4. And now Tyler's starting to fade here just a little bit, made some speed up. Not sure if Fitzgerald maybe made a little bit of an adjustment, or if Tyler just started to struggle ever so slightly. And you see Jeff Marble just behind him. There's Adrian Watson. How about this scheme for Kyle Oakley here tonight? Excuse me, just in front of Kyle Oakley for Scott Glasso, running the Kevin Harvick 4 machine. We know Harvick retired in real life, and it looks like Scott Glasso paying a little bit of a tribute, and a good run so far here tonight. Currently sits in that A spot, down a position from where he started, but a top 10 early. It's going to translate to some good speed later during that first round of pit stops. And when we think about fuel, these guys can go pretty far here. If I had to guess, I would say somewhere at 100% fuel, maybe around the 90 lap mark. I'm going to say 80 to 90. The question is going to be tires. I'm thinking to keep things more realistic. I don't know if they're going to make it quite the distance of 80 laps. We'll have to find out. But Scott Glasso, another one of the guys that we saw make it to the playoffs, unfortunately not make it as far as he would have liked. And Kyle Oakley is looking for a pass on that 4 machine. In fact, he's going to do just that as he ducks to the inside, down the back straightaway. Scott Glasso seeing if he can maybe pull off a little bit of a crossover move here. Nothing going. So he'll tuck back in line. And up front, Fitzgerald, Marble still sit 1-2. Now Jeff Marble fading a little bit But guess who has taken over that 4th position now? It's Joshua Watson in the 01. The driver out of Lindenville, New York, continuing to push his way farther and farther towards the front. And we will see. Wonder if starting back, he maybe saved a little bit more tire than these guys as he was trying to patiently work his way through lap traffic. And speaking of lap traffic, it is going to become a factor as this race goes on. Right now, Austin Fitzgerald not having to worry about it. You see the 23rd place running car of Richard Elliott going to be the first man on deck when they do get to some of these lappers. But if we stay green for long enough, a couple pit cycles, you'll be catching these lap cars about every lap, every other lap maybe. That's where you really got to be careful about how you maneuver through them. You don't want to get yourself into trouble. And we are going to take our first side-by-side break of the night, try to check on some things. Again, it sounded like from the chat we had some issues at the start. I'm not sure what the problem was, but I apologize for any issues we had. The important part is we're here now, and we are going to be here the rest of the way. Stick with us. We go side by side at Phoenix.
Capital Subaru, we value your time. Whether you're here for service or working with our amazing sales team, everything is right here for your convenience. We offer a great selection of Subarus, an industry-leading service center that keeps you moving, and so much more. Like our living green wall, just one of the many features throughout our dealership. Looking for the perfect pet gift? Check out Happy Paws Pet Shop right here in our lobby. Or plan your next adventure in our fireside seating and find your happy place. It's always your time at Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Back live at Phoenix Raceway for the Capital Auto Championship 156 live on Ghost Racing Network. You see the battle starting to heat up now between Joshua Watson and Jeff Marble, two of the championship contenders. Josh looking to the inside, and I think he's going to be able to get this position. Not sure how hard Jeff will fight him for at least this early on. Josh taking a dive down to the inside. Not going to be able to complete it just yet, but watch what he does here. Oh, some contact. Big contact. The 0-1 sideways. Can he save it? Joshua Watson saves it. Man, oh man, was that a close call. Jeff Marble had his hands full for a moment. The two got stuck together. And almost like some glue, they could knock it off of each other. And so Watson saves it. Looks like he doesn't lose any position, but he certainly loses a little bit of time there on Jeff. Holy moly, that could have been a whole lot worse. Let's back this up a lap and take a look at exactly how these two got together. Talked about Josh was racing him pretty hard, but man, what a save this was here. He just makes some contact. Josh maybe sliding up a little bit. Jeff trying to hold his ground. But man, I don't know how Josh manages to save this one. You saw it looked like at a certain point, he tries to stay in the throttle. And watch it here. There's the slight contact. Actually, he gets out of the throttle. That's a smart choice right there. Because if he doesn't, that might end a whole lot worse for the 0-1 machine. But he saves it, and he will be able to continue on. So as we go back live, he'll have to try to reel back in the 15 of Jeff Marble. I think he's going to be able to do it. But how about Austin Fitzgerald? The gap now over 3 seconds for the driver of the 74. And let's take a little bit of a deeper look here into Austin Fitzgerald. Currently on Dynamic Autosports. Don't forget, made the transition about a quarter way through the season. And man, oh man, talk about the difference it has made. He has picked up a ton of speed since then. Got a teammate in Alan Pajari. Both drivers making a playoff berth. And a great run so far here tonight. Austin, multiple wins on the season. But man, this one would be the most. The driver out of Las Vegas looking to see if he can get it done here tonight. We'll have to find out. He's certainly looking good up to this point. Just behind him, the driver, the number 48, it's Tyler Marble. And we talk about guys, speedway specialists, road course specialists. I think we'd have to put Tyler in the category of road course specialist. Another guy that's had a great season. The playoffs maybe didn't quite go the way he certainly planned. Things were getting a little dicey coming down to Martinsville. But he was able to sneak in, and we know he's got the speed to make it happen. But right now, looking like he's going to need to make some adjustments on that 48 machine. Of course, the driver for Team Marble iRacing, him and Jeff Marble both making the championship for Tyler with the tied for the second most wins on the season at 3, tied with Austin Fitzgerald. And then as we talked about, you go just a position, currently just a position. Actually, it looks like Joshua Watson maybe thinking about fighting Jeff Marble for this position in just a moment. But right now, it is going to be the 15 machine of Jeff Marble, the other Team Marble iRacing driver in the championship for here tonight. Jeff with 2 wins on the season. Saw him get the first one at Nashville Super Speedway. Mr. Consistency and Mr. Long Run, that's what we're going to call him here tonight. He has had speed all throughout the season, has probably the most consistent finish of just about anybody besides Joshua Watson. And that consistency has allowed him to, even though he doesn't have the most wins, get to the championship for pretty comfortably. It was a pretty smooth playoff for the driver number 15. And we'll see what he can do tonight, as it looks like he's starting to track down his teammate here in the 48, taking a little bit of a different line, and it looks like right now it's working for him. Just behind Jeff Marble, we got Joshua Watson in the 01 machine as we go to his driver cam here. And actually, after that trouble, I thought maybe he'd be a little bit more antsy, but you see he is nice, calm, cool, and collected. 3 wins in a row coming into tonight's race. So he has got all the momentum in the world, make it 15 wins in total on the season. Could potentially make it 16 tonight. The JBR Racing driver, a couple of them we saw in the playoffs, but he has led them all the way to the championship 4. And looking to see if he can get the job done tonight. You have to kind of assume he's the favorite. And we saw how much it meant when he got the win at Vegas. And man, you want to see how much it would mean to him if he could get the job done here tonight. We'll have to find out if he can make it happen, as just starting to slowly approach the 1/3 mark of the way through this race. And quick update for anybody that's just tuning in. Yeah, I did check earlier, and for some reason, I was sitting here commentating and had the stream running from the start of the race, but YouTube never actually had sent it or started running it until about 16 laps in. So again, I really apologize for that. I'm not sure what happened with it. Didn't miss anything too exciting, though, on the restart. We saw Austin Fitzgerald, Tyler Marble starting on your front row. And again, as we talked about, Joshua Watson and Jeff Marble spread out a little bit throughout your top 12. Nothing too chaotic. The restart, everybody fanned out, got organized. And then Richard Elliott, I think, was right about the point that we got to start out on lap 16 with a little bit of an issue on the back straightaway. Didn't bring out the caution. We stayed green as we have since then. And of course, you haven't missed anything since then, as Austin Fitzgerald just continues to try to stretch the lead. But here is the battle now between Joshua Watson and Jeff Marble. Watson maybe looking for a little bit of a crossover here on the back bumper of the 15. And remember, these two a little dicey last time they got side by side. We'll see if maybe they can deal with it a little bit easier this time. Joshua Watson rolling all the way up to the back bumper of Jeff Marble. Man, that car is fast on exit. He was able to pull a little bit of a gap on Jeff Marble there. Excuse me, close the gap on Jeff Marble. And now going into turns 1 and 2, he's going to take it to the outside, has the preferred lane. And watch the momentum for the 01 here as they get down the backstretch. Little bit of a wiggle there for Jeff Marble. Just not much he can really do at this point. Looks like he's going to try to dive it pretty deep. But Watson quickly going to cut that run off, and now he will take over the 3rd spot. As next up in line, he is going to set his sights on Tyler Marble. And, you know, you got to wonder, I guess I should say you got to assume that it wasn't the qualifying effort that Joshua Watson expected or probably wanted. And, Glenn Grigsby up into the wall there in 1 and 2, gets out of it. He stays fine, but speaking a little bit more on that, the qualifying effort for Joshua Watson, again, not what we expected to start this race. Back outside of the top 5. And he's been working his way through. The only problem for him now is that as he runs, he is 7 seconds behind Austin Fitzgerald. And, I mean, if you look at this thing going in the long run, you know that 01's got some speed here tonight, but is it enough to go hold any light to what Austin Fitzgerald has been doing so far here tonight? I mean, again, 7 seconds. It seems like each lap he continues to increase the pace that he's running. In fact, if we compare the lap times here between your leader and second place right now, Tyler Marble, I mean, the difference is huge. You see Fitzgerald, that last lap, half a second better, and multiple laps before that, 2 to 3 tenths better. So again, Team Marble iRacing maybe struggling with the handling just a little bit, but Dynamic Autosport and JBR eRacing, whatever setups they have brought this week, certainly running big dividends right now for their 2 championship contenders, Austin Fitzgerald and Joshua Watson. Back to the field. Here's a little battle between a couple of the non-championship guys. Alan Pajari ducking to the inside. Oh, Glenn Grigsby with more troubles. He's going to get up into that outside wall again. We always talk about the next gen's very aero-dependent, kind of a one-lane car. A one-groove car in terms of if you get out of the groove, it just slips all the way up to the top of the track. And a lot of times it's hard to keep it out of the walls. We saw be the case right there for Glenn. As we go further back in the field, here's a look at Ryan Haynes, another one of our non-championship drivers that is carrying an onboard camera for us here tonight. And if you haven't figured it out by now, we have the championship guys highlighted in red, and they got the P next to their name on their driver card. It'll pop up red as well. We started off with the round of 16, followed by the round of 12, then the round of 8, and here we are at the final 4. So Ryan Haynes with a pretty good run as they stand right now. One of the BMP Racing drivers. He's in 16th, up 4 positions from where he started. And Johnny Mikulchuk back in 18th. He's up 3 from where he started. He is our final guy carrying an onboard camera for us here tonight. And then rumors, maybe next season, who knows, Johnny Mikulchuk will have a pedal cam. And it'd be a pretty cool little camera setup matching the full rig that he's got set up. As we go back towards the front, Joshua Watson still heating up the back bumper of Tyler Marble. The gap between the two is about 0.2 of a second. Make it 1 car length. Joshua Watson trying to be patient here. You got to wonder if all the lap traffic he's went through has hurt that car in terms of grip at all. Certainly doesn't look that way as he'll dive just a little bit low. And these guys actually get just a little bit of draft down these straightaways. Again, it's not much. But with the speeds they get up to at just about 160 miles an hour, that's fast enough to pull up to the car in front of you if you're close enough. Breaking that big hole in the air as they go down the backstretch. It looks like Tyler is starting to get a little bit out of shape. Just take a look from the gearbox cam. Through 1 and 2, though, is where it looked like Watson made up the most amount of time. Tyler changed the lineup a little bit since, but you saw Watson was really diving it in deep. We'll see if he changes the approach. No, there you go. I mean, look how much he closes it up. They're going to have to work their way around the outside here of Thomas O'Hara. Tyler able to get by a little bit cleaner. And now Watson's probably saying to the 07, man, can you get up the track? I have got to go. Joshua Watson to the inside of the 07. Jeff Marble falling back to 4th. Still up 4 from where he started, so he's in the positive direction overall. But again, I think a lot of these guys are really getting antsy to make it to this first pit stop, especially the ones that aren't quite handling as good as Austin Fitzgerald is right now. But man, he seems like when it's pressure situations, he's just as talented as Joshua Watson in terms of getting the job done and putting on a clinic. And it's been that way at a couple tracks that we've been to this season. Charlotte Roval, prime example of the speed that the 74 had. And here tonight, showing a lot more of it. And again, the line is pretty similar, but it's just different guys being able to find different rhythms. And we know that it's open setups as, we're going to have a couple pit stops here, so we'll hold that thought for a minute. Looks like Johnny Mikulchuk, Cody Richardson, both making their way down the pits. Cody, one of the Mad Sim Racing drivers, him and Andrew Kotska. Saw them both in the round of 8. Had pretty high ambitions that we'd see at least one, if not both of them, in the championship 4. Things did not quite work out, but trying a little strategy here is with these guys pitting now on lap 55. Certainly don't expect this to be a 1-stop. Looking more like it would be a 2-stop, this being the first of the 2. The second one would have to expect to come maybe somewhere around lap 100 to 110. And Johnny Mikulchuk's going to roll his way out of the pits. Very long pit road here. So you do not want to get a penalty, maybe get a pass through. That will cost you a ton of time. And a little bit of a tricky pit road. Turn 1 and 2, as Austin Fitzgerald's going through now, is a pretty flat, Not too much banking, but getting down to the pitch, similar to what we see at Darlington, it comes up on you really, really quick. And you do not want to accidentally get into the barrels or overshoot it and lose any time. And Austin Fitzgerald now has the gap up to almost 10 seconds over second place Tyler Marble, only 50 laps in. And when you're putting down a pace like that, you're going to start catching some lap traffic, and that's exactly what Fitzgerald is getting ready to do. Going to be coming up on the first two guys that he's going to pass here all night, and it is going to be the 35 of Brett Spod just in front of Brett. Looks like the 6 of Jared Bundy, but he's on new tires, should be able to pull away. And you're going to lose at least one lap here during your pit stop at Phoenix, probably 2. Again, assuming that you take 4 tires and fuel, and I don't really see any other strategy play for this race besides 4 tires and fuel. If you're Austin Fitzgerald, though, and you got this much of a cushion, maybe you can play with a little bit of strategy, stretch it a little bit longer on fuel or a little bit longer on tires, and help yourself out that much more for the end of the race if we were to get a late caution. But as this race continues to run right now, I don't think Austin Fitzgerald wants to hear anything about a caution. He is saying, let's keep this thing green and let's keep going. Watson now closed up on the back bumper of Tyler Marble again, as it looks like we're going to actually get a group of about 4 or 5 cars starting to close in on this battle. Be the battle for second if they could all get there, but a little bit further back, there's Jeff Schutt. Currently up 2 from where he started in 7th to 27, trying to see if he can pick off that position from Andrew Kotska. That would be for 6. Oh, Watson! Big trouble. Gets back on track, but similar to what we saw earlier with him and Jeff Marble, it looked like. In the 0-1, wicked sideways again. Let's go see what happens here to Josh. That time, even closer of a call, it looked like. We saw he was getting really close with Tyler Marble, and it looks like it's going to be more of the same move, but does he just get loose here, steering it down the banking? Yeah, he does. Man, that is such an odd... I mean, these guys are on pretty old tires now, don't get me wrong, but watch the car. He shoots down, and man, it did not like the transition. Almost looked like he started to get a little bit loose just before the transition. And then, man, when he got down on the dogleg, that thing shot straight to the left. And I'm telling you, he came within feet of disaster. This would have been the end of the 0-1 championship hopes. Watch this. See the inside wall coming up in a hurry. Oh, my goodness. He just steers off of it. Wow, and then does a nice job of getting checked up here and not accidentally maybe collecting some of these guys and making the situation worse. And so I think if you're Joshua Watson, you may have to bail out here, make a pit stop, try to do some sort of strategy, because what he's got going right now just is not working too well. He's had the speed to catch some of these guys, but man, passing has been a real struggle here tonight for the 0-1. And some of these guys that are already pit, going back by your leader, Austin Fitzgerald. Johnny McCulloch gets into the outside wall a little bit. And through all that chaos, cost Tyler Marble a couple more seconds. It's now up to 12 for Austin Fitzgerald. Remember, I mean, we took a look at it, but lap times here, all in all, 29 seconds. And so through less than half of the race here, if the pace continues, it looks like there's a chance that Austin Fitzgerald could have about half a lap on second place Tyler Marble. And in fact, let's pull that track map up again and show you just how far the gap is. So you see Austin currently highlighted in green, entering turn number 1. Actually, excuse me, turn number 3. Keep getting those confused here tonight. And then you look back to where you see the number 2 for the dots, and it's Tyler Marble just now halfway down the back straightaway as Austin's halfway down the front straightaway. Again, just cannot believe how fast this 74 has been so far here tonight. Very impressive. Dynamic Autosports, a little bit of one of the smaller teams. You got to remember, only 2 guys, but they make some mean, fast setups. And boy, do they have a fast one here tonight. And as your championship for run right now, Austin Fitzgerald continues to lead the way. Tyler Marble in second. Jeff Marble back up to third. And Joshua Watson, after that little bit of a mistake, is now all the way back to 8th. 14 seconds back from your leader. So we have now completed 65 of 156 laps. And still no sign of pit stops yet from Austin Fitzgerald. So how about a little crank it up for the final time in Season 3 here at Phoenix? Here we go. And that is going to do it for tonight's segment of Crank It Up. I hope everybody did enjoy. You are watching the Capital Auto Championship 156 from Phoenix Raceway. By the way, I know FastTrack would have this to say, so we'll put it on the broadcast. Basically, we'll talk a little bit more about it later, but can't say enough about how much they appreciate the sponsorship this season from everybody. But Capital Auto Group hopping on for the Noble 5 program, which we saw be such a cool program. Started out with some of the super speedways, Daytona, Atlanta, and Talladega, and then we wrapped it up with the Bristol Night Race, or Darlington, and then wrapped it up with the Bristol Night Race. And we saw the winner of that, Jeff Marble, get awarded $50. And later tonight, these guys going to be, I shouldn't say battling it out, but going to be drawing for a giveaway for a butt kicker. Butt kicker, another one of the sponsors that hopped on this season. And of course, you can't forget about Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist, the main title sponsor for the season. These guys do so much to make this league what it is. And man, you see the competition that you bring each and every week. You got to remember that when these guys are on custom setups, I mean, there's practice in general just to be fast at these tracks on fixed setups. Then you throw in the fact that everybody can make their own adjustments. And that's going to come down to a matter of not only who can go around the fastest, but who's got the fastest setups. That's a lot of work each week in terms of practice. In these Championship 4, they have put in the work, and somebody is going to get rewarded here tonight. Nobody has a chance to go back-to-back this season. Again, Season 3 for the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. The man that we saw get the championship last season, at least from what I'm aware of, unless that was the season before, I don't think races anymore. And so this would be a first-time champion, I believe, depending on who gets it done here tonight. If Austin Fitzgerald did, it certainly would be. And the 74, the gap is now up to just about 15 seconds. And do the math here real quick. The lap times are about 30 seconds, maybe just a little bit under. Fitzgerald, as we're just about 4 laps away from the halfway mark, has it up to 15 seconds. And how wild would it be if he managed to lap the entire field before this race was all said and done? We've seen a couple races where they went green a long time, guys be able to lap other guys, but right now I think Fitzgerald's priority is just keep ticking off these fast laps. The more guys you put a lap down, the less you're going to have to race later if we were to see a caution. But now, fading a little bit here, we see Jeff Marble move back to the 3rd spot. And, Jeff Marble moved back to the 4th spot as Tyler Marble moves back to the 3rd spot. But how about the speed that Jeff Shutt is picking up? We talk about Capital Auto Group, but how about the man himself getting the job done? Got the Capital Auto Group paint scheme on the hood and the sides of the car. Boy, it'd be pretty cool if he could somehow find a way into victory lane with his own sponsor here tonight. He has got a long gap and a lot of time to try to make up here on your leader if he wants any chance at it. Still no sign of a pit stop yet either from Austin Fitzgerald, and what we're looking at here is, again, we talked about they're about to be halfway through this race. If he makes it another 2 laps, then that would mean it's going to be a one-stop strategy for the driver, the 74. And, I mean, when you got speed like this, I think the less pit stops you got to do, the better. And the good news, and I would say what he needs to make sure of here, is that if you're Austin Fitzgerald, you cannot let yourself make a mistake right here. I mean, it's not even a thought in my head of pushing any sort of pace going into the pits. Come in 10 miles an hour under if you have to with a gap of 15 seconds. You cannot let yourself slip up right here and potentially cost yourself a penalty and lose all that time that you've worked so hard to gain up to this point. And on the flip side of that, if you're Tyler Marble, Jeff Marble, Joshua Watson, you're trying anything in your power to make up time. I mean, at the worst case scenario, you got nothing to lose. It's get it or go for broke here tonight. Whoever finishes the highest is taking home the crown. So we'll have to see if able to make up any time. I mean, you figure if you really dive it in hard enough, you make up a couple seconds, but it's just still so much time. And we talk about Jeff Shutt being 15 seconds back, but your next running championship contender to Austin Fitzgerald is almost 18 seconds back. And so Tyler Marble continues to stay out as well. I think all of the Final 4 are looking to make it a one-stop strategy. And I'm a little surprised that with the speed and the lap times that we saw Austin running, that none of these guys maybe tried to do a little bit of a different strategy, as we've seen with a couple different people here tonight. Cody Richardson, Johnny McCulchuk, Jared Bundy. Just try to go in early, maybe make it a 2-stop, but have those fresh tires and try to make up a lot of lap time. And we're going to get a good idea of just what the fall-off looks like here on tires after we see the pit stop from some of the leaders. And we are now officially through halfway in this race. Jeff Shutt bringing it down to the pits. This will be his one stop of the night as he'll top off on fuel take 4 fresh Goodyears. Bring it back out, see if he can try to hunt down that 74 machine. Austin Fitzgerald still out, not going to duck down this time. Cody Richardson just behind him. And a couple announcements. Actually, a couple things we need to talk about here, and we'll head over to do those now before we get closer to the end of this race, where things may start to get a little bit more interesting. First thing we want to talk about, I mean, we talked about it earlier, FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. I should say on behalf of the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series and Ghost Racing Network, we want to thank all the sponsors that came out this season, drivers and fans, and hoping everybody enjoys the off-season. Assuming that there will be, of course, a Season 4 for the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series as good as Season 3 was. And then there's the drivers eligible for the butt kicker giveaway. They're going to spin a wheel, and whoever it lands on will be taking home the butt kicker. I believe it's the optic or haptic gaming thing. Basically, you put it on the back of your chair, and it moves it around, gives you a little bit of a feel. And then, of course, some of the other things to talk about was that non-playoff driver battle. Somebody's going to be taking home some money here at the end of the night. Maybe a couple guys taking home some money for the top, either it was the leader or top 3 in points. And that non-playoff driver points battle is currently being led by Adrian Watts, Jeffrey Souza in 2nd, Thomas O'Hara 3rd, Jared Bundy in 4th, and Kyle Oakley rounding out your top 5. And I believe it was, like I said, either 1st or top 3. Bundy, I don't know if he's close enough to catch O'Hara. Depends on the run, but it looks like Adrian Watts should have it all but wrapped up, assuming nothing too crazy happens here tonight. And I believe during the offseason for the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series, Alan Pajari puts on a winter series. And so, again, if you need any more information or you're interested in that, let us know, and we will go check or get some more info on it for you. Of course, you can always join the Discord. We have it in the description. And back live on track. Looks like the first 2 of your Championship 4 have brought it down to the pits, and it is going to be Team Marble iRacing being the first 2 guys to try strategy. Tyler came in a lap or 2 before Jeff. Jeff now pitting as well. And so Kyle Oakley, he brings it in just in front, couple boxes of the 17 machine. So as the 15 gets back out on track, Cody Matthews bringing it down to the pits as well. Up front, Austin Fitzgerald, again, still out on track. And Joshua Watson is as well, currently 21 seconds behind your leader. Now let's start to see if we can get a little bit of a gauge on what we're looking at for lap times here. Austin Fitzgerald, a 29.2 that last lap. And you go all the way back here to Tyler Marble, the man on the freshest tires right now. And you see, actually, he's going to get his first lap right here. Green flag lap, I should say. And let's see what he runs. And there you have it, a 28 flat. So probably somewhere around the range of a second to a second and a half worth of fall off. And still not going to be nearly enough to track down Austin Fitzgerald, even trying this short pitch strategy. And here we go. We're going to see the 74 machines first and probably only stop of the night as he brings it down the latest. And I'll tell you what, to have that big of a lead, I like this call. You want to come down later, have those fresher tires. So if for some reason guys start to make a charge or you need them late, you have that much more tire than the rest of the field. And Fitzgerald did a nice job, got down to the pits nice and smooth, made sure that he made no mistakes. And got to get into your box clean here. Don't slide. He'll take 4 tires and fuel just as everyone else has up to this point. Good news for Austin is that he gets the advantage of that first pit stall. And so it'll be a short ride out of the pits. Doesn't have to worry about speeding. Merging here a little bit easier too. You don't have to worry about really anybody else getting onto the track in turn 1. That's where it gets a little bit dicey, but I don't think we'll really see any issues. As it looks like at this point, Joshua Watson still out on track. I think he is hoping that we can just somehow get a caution. I mean, he's got to try some sort of strategy. And he's got to be wondering what if. A couple different things right now were to have gone differently. But, again, anything could happen. And if you're on the lead lap, it only takes one caution to completely throw this race and your chances for a loop, whether for better or worse. And so Watson being scored as your leader. Cody Richardson from Ad Sim Racing in 2nd. It's Jared Bundy being scored back in 3rd. Brian Conklin in 4th. Austin Fitzgerald, make that Ryan Haynes now actually in 5th. Austin Fitzgerald in 6th. Man, that is wild that even after the pit stop, he still comes out as far ahead as he does in front of Tyler and Jeff Marble. Alan Bajari back in 7th. Johnny McCulchuk in 8th. Jeff Shutt 9th. Andrew Kotska back rounding out your top 10. There's Thomas O'Hara 11th, Tyler Marble 12th, Bill Benedict in 13th, Jeff Marble 14th, and Jacob Musso currently rounding out your top 15. Here's Watson going to bring it down for his pit stop. Man, he dove it in as deep as he could right there. Again, trying to get any time possible, staying out the longest. He'll have the freshest tires, but man, going to lose so much time here. Watch Austin Fitzgerald go by. I mean, this is going to happen in a pretty quick hurry. There's the 74 machine going down the back straightaway. As Joshua Watson not quite in his pit box just yet. Now he is. And watching for the 74. There he goes as he slides up the track. And so Fitzgerald by the 01 before the 01 even completes service. Oh, heard some contact there. Not sure who that was from. We got into the outside wall. And as Watson finishes up his service, gets the lefts, and he will head out back on track, try to make up some more time. And man, talk about deficits and times that guys try to make up. Even with the amount of laps that we have left, looking right now like right around 66 laps remaining in this race. It's just so much time that all these guys have lost right now on Austin Fitzgerald that it's just, you almost think that there's just no way that they can make it back up without a caution. And so if you are Austin Fitzgerald, you are preaching to every single one of these guys right now saying, guys, just please keep it clean. Any lap traffic, he'll give them as much room as they want. Looks like Richard Elliott's going to break down to the pits. Oh, that might have been where your contact was from. Look at the right front for the 02. Looks like it is pretty damaged. Let's go back and see if we can sort this one out for Richard Elliott. That'd be the second issue he's had here tonight. The 02 struggling a little bit. Yeah, look at his right front. Heavy damage. So he made some hard contact with the wall. I think it was over here in 3 and 4, which is where we heard it. Yeah, sure enough. And so, same thing to what we saw earlier with the first incident for Richard Elliott. Actually, this one's a little different. Thought maybe he got loose, but there's some contact between him and Brett Spod. You see Brett hit the outside wall. And then him and Richard Elliott, looks like Brett Spod coming off the wall. Richard maybe thinking he has a little room to come up. They make some contact. And that's going to send the 02 down to the inside wall. He sees it, overcorrects. And when you're on old tires like this, it's so easy to spin them. And that's what sends him, boom, hard hit into the outside wall. And then, boom, another big hit into this inside wall. Oh, yellow flag is out. Yellow flag is out. Hold your horses. Oh, my goodness. This is going to change this race. And what brought it out is the question. Trying to find it. Did not expect to see that. Oh, my goodness. Not seeing anybody with trouble currently. We'll get down to the bottom of it. But man, oh man, Austin Fitzgerald right now is thinking, what in the world? And there's the look. He knows. Man, it was looking so good for the 74, and now all of a sudden, gonna have to go back to work. Let's go see if we can find what brings out the caution. Johnny McCulchuk in the pits. No issues there. Here we go, a little 3-wide race, and you gotta, oh, and there it is! And that is what is gonna do it. That's Ryan Haynes, Danny Gutierrez, and Alan Pajari that all get together. It looks like a lot of hard racing here. Let's take a closer look. So here you go. They get 3 wide going down the back straightaway. And Ryan Haynes, looks like he just kind of gets up into Danny Gutierrez. It was kind of weird. It almost looked like maybe it was starting to hook the car. Couldn't tell if that was the case from that view. Let's watch from the chopper cam. They're side by side here. And, I mean, Ryan moves up a little bit, but it almost looks like they get a little bit of net code between each other before they get that close right there. Notice how it just hooks the 39 sideways. And then once he gets into the 08, that's going to finish spinning that 39 machine around. And so he goes for a couple loop-de-loops, 360s. Danny Gutierrez, think he's going to get some damage out of this. 39 a little bit on the front end. Danny was able to continue on, but man, the biggest news out of this is just the fact of Austin Fitzgerald. Looked like he had it all in the bag, was running away with it. Man, oh man, this caution is all of a sudden going to put a lot of guys back in contention. And boy, it is going to make for what might be the craziest restart of the season. It's got me amped up here in the booth. Man, this is going to be crazy. Up front, though, looks like it is Cody Richardson being scored as your leader. Jared Bundy back in second. And there's Austin Fitzgerald. And I wonder if we'll see a pit stop here from Jared and Cody. Maybe a little strategy. We'll have to find out. As now that we have the caution, one of the things that we wanted to try to do here tonight, we'll see if we can get an interview from some of, if not all of, your top 4 different points. But Haven't seen a lot of cautions, but we got one right now, so let's head over to the interview screen here and see if we can get a quick word with one of your Championship 4 here. And what better way to start than with your current leader in the Championship 4 battle, Austin Fitzgerald. I know he's got a lot on his mind, but let's see if we can get a quick word from him here. Hey, Austin, this is Austin in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Austin, I got you.
All right, man. Well, first of all, tell us about what the emotions are feeling like right now. It looked like you were walking away with it, but now we see the caution out. Sometimes these races get wild.
Running third, but, I'm racing for a championship here, and these guys ahead of me, I'm not worried about them, in championship scenarios. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. This race is playing out how I want it to. But, man, cautions breed cautions, so we're just going to have to see what happens. I'm not really trying to get excited or anything right now. It's just way too early for that.
All right, well, we'll let you stay focused. Thanks for giving us a quick word. Good luck the rest of the way. You got people rooting for you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and looks like we got the 1-to-go signal. And, yeah, it's too important of a race to bring anybody else up right now, so we'll go ahead and hold off. If we get another caution, we will talk. It's probably the next highest running championship contender. As we go back live, these guys get 2x2. And we're ready. And again, we saw how long that green flag run was just then. And I think everybody knows that there's a chance of that again right here. So this is going to be one aggressive restart. Keep an eye on the scoring pylon. It is going to be moving all over the place. And keep an eye on the black, white, and red 15 machine of Jeff Marble. Third highest running, but he's on the inside. Tyler Marble, his teammate, couple rows up on the outside. We'll see what progress those two can make. Joshua Watson, currently outside the top 10. He really needs to make up some ground on this restart. In fact, finds himself back in 17th. Green flag is back in the air. 98 laps complete. Check up on the outside. It's going to allow for a big surge on the inside as they all fan out as they go down on the dog leg. 3 wide here. Jeff Marble trying to make up some position. Cody Richardson going to jump out to the lead as Austin Fitzgerald works his way down to the inside. And we'll go back to the blimp cam here. You see Tyler Marble with a big run to the outside. Watson trying to scramble for positions as well. And now Jeff Marble looking to try to get to the back bumper of his teammate here. Now working that inside. These guys have got to get by some of these cars and close that gap on Austin Fitzgerald before he's able to pull away. And so, we got contact out back. Looks like 2 guys around. We'll just draw the caution. Benedict slides back on track, and it will. So brings the caution back out as the 90 machine gets back rolling. Ryan Haynes around as well. And your second caution of the night falls on lap 100. So let's go back here and take a look. Looked like just hard racing between a couple of the non-championship guys here fighting for position. And actually, oh no, Bill Benedict gets loose. That's an odd spot to get loose, but I feel like we saw this back in the spring race. Watch the 90 here. So it's a little bit of a kink here, a little bit of a turn. You do have to put some wheel in it. And if you wait too long to put wheel in it, yeah, that can happen. The back tires start to spin, and it sends him right around as he gets loose. Take a different angle of this one here, and then Ryan Haynes just the innocent victim. There's the 90 sliding back up the track. Let's take a couple different angles of this one right here. See if I can give you a better shot of exactly what this looks like. Here we go. Watch the 90. Gets down. There you go. Gets loose in the back end. Just starts to slide on him. And now he's lost it coming down the track. Ryan Haynes nowhere to go. Piles in. Bill Benedict's going to go for a slide here. And lets it roll. And it rolls right back up on tracks. I think he was trying to straighten it out. And you saw he was trying to do a little bit of a J-turn action. Keep it down low and keep it rolling. Unfortunately, though, once it turned back, it rolled back up the track. And so that's what brought out the caution ultimately. And then you see Ryan Haynes. He's going to spin down to the inside again. Take one more look at it here from the gearbox of Bill Benedict. Man, that was a close call for a couple guys too as he went back up the track. But I think that's the caution that, well, I say this, but maybe it wasn't the caution that Jeff Marble and Tyler Marble wanted to see. Tyler going in the wrong direction. I think Jeff maybe lost a spot too through all that. And so it's still Cody Richardson leading, Austin Fitzgerald in second. Jared Bundy back in third. Alan Pajari in fourth. Jeff Shutt fifth. Brian Conklin sixth. And Andrew Kotska rounding out your top 7 for the moment. And so as we head over, let's go see now if we can get a word with currently your second highest running championship 4 driver, Jeff Marble. Let's see if we can bring him up. Hey, Jeff, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. Well, I'll tell you what, we're seeing a lot of twists and turns here all of a sudden in this race. A couple cautions. Giving life to Team Marble iRacing. What's the strategy right now to try to go catch that 74 car?
Put the old kahunas up on the dashboard and hope for the best. I know I don't have anything for him. He's just strong. I was really loose that first long run. I did tighten it up. That might help me, but now I lost all the track positions, so because of that yellow. And here we are again with another yellow. So we'll do the best we can, and that's all we can do. Hope for the best.
All right. Well, thanks for giving us a quick word. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir.
Jeff Marble, telling it how it is. He'd say it. I mean, he said car's just not doing what he really needs it to do. Feeling a little bit better, but just feels like doesn't have anything for that 74 right now. But you never know. Right? And that's why all these guys are out here. You got to keep trying. A couple cautions like this, and maybe they get a couple spots, get a couple more cautions, all of a sudden you're right back in the mix. So you can never tell yourself that you're out of it until it's all said and done. It looks like Joshua Watson was able to be the beneficiary of that quick restart and then caution as he gained about 6 spots. Now up to 11th. We'll see if he can make up some more positions. I think right now that 01 is the second closest in terms of speed to the 74. But he's got a lot of pressure right here to make up some more positions, so we'll see what he can do. If you're just tuning in, picked a good time to do it. Getting ready for the last 50 laps of the Capital Auto Championship 156 at Phoenix. Austin Fitzgerald looking to be crowned your Season 3 champion. 3 other guys currently inside the top 11 got something to say about it. We're about to find out. Working our way back into the Geico restart zone. Fitzgerald maybe looking to do a little bit more on this restart now that he's on the front row. Green flag is back in the air. And a little bit of a better start this time for that outside line. This time it's the inside with a little bit of a checkup. Tyler Marble starts to go backwards, and Cody Richardson going to dive all the way down on the bottom of the dog leg. Watch these guys further back. Fitzgerald's going to slide in line. Tyler Marble behind Andrew Kotska. There's Jeff Marble. Can't forget about Joshua Watson in the blue and white 01 machine. Looks like he's going to pick up a position from Scott Glasso. Tyler Marble looking to the inside. 3 wide right here on Andrew Kotska. That's going to get really tight. Kotska sliding up the track. Watson takes advantage. Looking for a 2-for-1. He does it. Now Joshua Watson to the outside of Tyler Marble. And where did the 01 come from? Almost a contact in the outside wall. That's Andrew Kotska. He's going to keep it up there. Now he comes down into Cody Matthews. Some bumper cars in the back, but everybody saves it, so we stay green. And Joshua Watson got in front of Tyler Marble. The next man up for him to get by here is Jeff Shutt. Looking to the outside. How hard is Jeff going to race him? To the outside goes Josh. 27 diving all the way down on the dogleg, seeing if he can get clear of the 01. Looks like he's not going to be able to do it. And now Joshua Watson has a preferred lane, and right now he knows it's go time. Fitzgerald still currently trapped behind the 46 of Cody Richardson, and I think if Austin gets to the inside, I don't think Cody will battle him too hard, but so far not been able to do it. So he stays behind the 46, and Jeff Marble was able to make up some positions on that restart, made up 3 actually, as he now sits in 5th. Yeah, your biggest mover through that restart was indeed Joshua Watson. It looks like he is going to be able to get that position now from Jeff Shutt. Put him up another one here as he'll look to the inside of Brian Conklin down the back straightaway. There's just certain guys, I'm telling you, you just can never count out of it. And you knew that Joshua Watson would be one. He just needed a little bit of help, and he got it in the form of a couple cautions. Now he's going to get by Brian Conklin, move him up another position as he'll set his sights now at Jeff Marble. And I think if you're Austin Fitzgerald here, I think maybe he's playing this a little smarter than we know, as he's going to make the move here on Cody Richardson. I was saying, I think he knows he's got a bit of a buffer, and he doesn't need to rush this move. As long as he's got a couple buffers, he knows he's got the speed. All he's worried about right now is save a little bit of tire in case you need it here towards the end if one of these other guys finds some speed to get there. And so that's exactly what I think he did right there. Was able to make a move on the 46. So he says, okay, I'll try to go by, and looks like Cody not going to race him too aggressive as they get down into turns 1 and 2. He will take a look to the inside, and he'll complete it. off of turn number 2. So now what can Jeff Marble, Joshua Watson, and Tyler Marble figure out? We saw how much he was able to pull away during the last long green flag run, and with 46 laps remaining as he crosses the line this time. Time is starting to run out. Ooh, the 46 that Cody Richardson got into the outside wall right there. And that probably made a couple of these guys get a little antsy as they thought maybe we were seeing our third caution of the night there for a moment. Jeff Marble trying to hold off Joshua Watson. Drag race down the back straightaway. Watson with a little bit of momentum, but there's nowhere to go right now. Pajari looked to the inside. Oh, man, that was a close call. It's another close call. You saw the big checkup for Alan Pajari as Cody Richardson cut him off a little bit. And then, man, Joshua Watson almost got into the right rear. That could have ended pretty bad as well. They all save it again. Meanwhile, up front, Austin Fitzgerald, the gap between him and Joshua Watson, your second highest running championship contender for the... Oh! Fitzgerald with big issues! Huge hit to the 74! Gets it to the outside wall. What has happened? Oh my goodness, it takes out Cody Richardson. Austin Fitzgerald went about 45-degree angle. And oh no, his night is done. Oh my goodness. What in the world has happened to the 74? Let's go take a look. I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of things that can shock me as bad as that one did. I have never seen something quite like what we just saw. What happens here? He's going through 3 and 4. Everything's fine. And then, excuse me, 1 and 2, and then coming out of 2. It just goes straight on him. Immediately disconnects. What happened? The wheel goes straight. This had to be some sort of technical issue. Watch the wheel. Oh. Man. That is a terrible, terrible break for Fitzgerald. We'll get confirmation, but man, that looks like he just had a technical issue, something with his rig. And it's been so good all season. Seems like there was no issues, and man, he had this race looking so good tonight. And that is a huge hit. Went back down. Didn't get to actually see if he took anyone else out. We saw Cody Richardson, of course, get involved here, but was that the only guy? Let's look from Joshua Watson's point of view here to see if we can confirm. I still can't believe what we just saw. And yep, sure enough, Fitzgerald immediately alt F4s when he knows what's gone on. And yeah, it's Pajari and Cody Richardson that get collected. Jeff Marble taps the outside wall. Nothing too bad, though. So all 3 of the remaining championship 4 contenders you see there on the outside, they sneak by. Get a couple more views of this. One from the onboard cam for Joshua Watson, as he was probably saying to himself, what in the world? Like I said, the look would be that he blew a tire, but we know that didn't happen. New tires. But then you saw from the cockpit view, his wheel just went straight. And so again, definitely some sort of technical function there. And man, oh man. We just keep getting more and more surprises here, as now with Austin Fitzgerald being eliminated after looking like the favorite up to this point in the race, it now puts Joshua Watson in the driver's seat. Tyler Marble just behind him in 3rd, but Jeff Marble all the way back now in 17th. Not sure if he had more damage than what we thought, or he's just going to try some tire strategy here. Either way, should get the 1-to-go signal this time, and man, oh man. Let's see if we can get just a quick word here with Austin, and maybe see if we can figure out exactly what went wrong with it. Hey, Austin, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, man, we don't mean to beat you while you're down here, but we're just trying to figure out, man, what in the world went wrong? We'll see if... Were you able to hear me okay there, Austin?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry. Ever since the last major build, my sim's been having issues, and it just crashed. So, that's what happened. Yeah, it is what it is. Guess there's next year. I don't know.
Well, we'll let you leave here and think about it for a while, man. We hate to see it. You were a rocket ship tonight. Thanks for letting us know what happened, though.
Yeah, no problem. I figure I'll come back and at least tell you guys what's going on. Thank you, Austin, for a good year.
Appreciate it. Good run tonight for Austin Fitzgerald. Man, you can hear the dejection in his voice. He knows what could have been. Meanwhile, green flag back in the air up front. Tyler Marble looking to the inside of Joshua Watson. This could be the battle for the championship now. 48 gonna put some heat on the back bumper of that 01, but Jared Bundy kind of holding both of these two up. They're gonna dive to the inside, and this could be kind of a pick right here for Tyler Marble. Joshua Watson gonna duck to the inside here. Tyler not able to make the move just yet. Both of these guys gonna dive all the way down to the bottom of the dog leg. Try to make up any position possible. Can the 01 get clear of these 6? No. Jared Bundy doing a nice job up here. Again, racing these guys respectfully, but man, showing some grit right here as he is not letting that 01 slip away too easily. Joshua trying to get the run, but the momentum still on the outside. Joshua Watson, the longer he stays side by side here, the more tire that he's going to have to use. I think Tyler sees that, but now he's going to think about making a move to the inside as well. With 118 laps complete, we continue to run out of time here to determine who is going to get the job done. Now, we saw Jeff Marble back in 17th. Again, I think he was maybe taking some tire, repairing some damage. He's up to 12. I think he would like to see a pretty quick caution right here, but we'll see if those tires are enough to get him all the way back to the front trying anything. That's what you got to do here. Is Tyler Marble's going to jump to the inside of Jared Bundy, and I have to think right now he is probably saying, let me by, I've got to go. And there you see the 48, another corner, not going to be able to get by, so Joshua Watson will pull away a little bit more, but the 6 car looking back to the inside here of Joshua Watson. Can Jared Bundy make anything happen? Oh, man, that got a little too close for comfort. Nothing doing just yet. He'll slide back in line. Big wiggle out of the 6 of Jared Bundy. He gets down into the inside wall. Tyler Marble will go by the 6 with heavy damage on the left side. But he keeps it going, so we stay green. Now Tyler Marble a little bit more clear sailing in front of him. And what can he do with Joshua Watson? Seemed like Watson had the second fastest car all night next to Austin Fitzgerald. And now's his chance to try to put a little bit of a safety gap between him and Tyler Marble. How about the 95 of Jacob Musso? Haven't even given him acknowledgement tonight, but here he is running up in third, the last remaining driver that's been running this season for the Musso Speed Shop. And man, he has really found some speed here late as he's pulled right up to the back bumper of Tyler Marble. We'll see what he can do. Further back, Jeff Marble has now moved up into the 9th position. So he'll continue to try to look for more. Jeff Marble up to 8th. Oh, no, now he's going to fall back to 9th as it looks like Jared Bundy's going to reclaim that position. But all eyes continue to be fixed up front. Joshua Watson just slightly, and I mean by like thousandths of a second, stretching it out each lap. But no more than that. Get about 3 laps away from the 30-lap mark. Again, no more pit stops scheduled. And at this point, it is all about a sprint to the finish. The only time I think we see any more pit stops is if we get a caution and guys want to take some tires. And you got to wonder, is that little bit of damage that Jeff Marble got from that last caution on the right front hurting him just enough? It's hindering him from making up positions any quicker than he currently can. You see right now he is 5 seconds behind your leaders. And so at this point, the battle for the championship is down to Joshua Watson and Tyler Marble. And, oh, Tyler with a big slide right there down into turn number 1. He was trying everything to see if he could get to the back bumper of Joshua Watson. Couldn't do it. And if you're Tyler, you got to make sure you stay patient here. It's so easy as a driver if you're behind a guy, but still this close to just overdrive it a little bit. You're trying to do everything to get there. You feel like you're kind of on a time clock, right? You feel like at a certain point on the long run, maybe you don't have what you're looking for, and you want to get to the guy before that happens. But right now, Tyler rolling the entry a lot better. The only problem is that's going to cost him a ton of tire and eventually start costing him some time here. Kyle Oakley up inside the top 5 has been having a good run here tonight. I'm telling you, if Kyle could have made the playoffs, I would not have been surprised at all if we would have seen him here in Phoenix competing for a championship. But still, nonetheless, talk about a good run here tonight. We'll see if he can cap it off with the top 5. Jeff Shutt has been very fast all night, and that continues here as he sits in 4th. Brett Spod up inside the top 10 after a couple different incidents tonight that he's been involved in. Johnny Mikulchuk as well currently sits in 7th. He is up 14 positions from where he started. Your biggest mover inside the top 10 after Brett Spott, who is up 16. And then Jeff Marble back to 8th. Seems like he has kind of settled down right there at 8th, not really able to gain, and it looks like he's got a herd behind him, maybe going to start getting a little bit antsy to try to get around him. So as we go back towards the front of the pack, Joshua Watson, that gap is now up to about, actually just over half a second. So Tyler Marble driving for all he's worth, but you continue to wonder, is it going to be enough? Joshua Watson, we know how good he is in these pressure-filled situations. He's able to stay nice and calm. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Let's take a ride on board with the driver for the 01. Talking about track temp here tonight before we started here. In fact, let's take a look at that track temp real quick. It's actually cooled down just a little bit from where we started, as it is now 2:21 sim time. Joshua Watson. Oh, we got some trouble here. Is this going to draw a caution? Nothing yet, as it looks like Adrian Watts. This might have been a little bit earlier here. Adrian Watts and Jared Bundy. And Jared Bundy gets it back rolling. He may have had some trouble by himself. Let's go back and take a look. First incident was with Adrian Watts. I think this was earlier in this run. And as they go down into turn 3. Oh, man, just in front of him. What a save from Brian Conklin. But further back causes trouble. I don't know how all of those guys held on to that. Are you kidding me, though, for the save that Brian Conklin just put off? I mean, he basically got bumped 45 degrees sideways into the corner, and he held on. Watch this. We got to watch this from Brian Conklin's onboard view. He's going to get some help here as he gets tapped in the bumper. And look at this. Barely taps the inside wall. I don't know how he holds on to that. Man, oh man. And then Jared Bundy in the 6th. This is a little bit later here. Coming down the front straightaway, he's going to make a move to the inside of Alan Pajari. And, ooh, coming up to track. Makes some contact, slides down, and locks it down here. And then goes for about a half spin on the apron. Man, some of these probably scaring Joshua Watson. I don't think he wants to see a caution at this point. Not with how it's looking right now for the 01. Coming up on 25 laps to go at Phoenix to crown a championship. Joshua Watson in front. Tyler Marble in 2nd. Jeff Marble back in 8th. We're going to take one more commercial break. We'll go side by side so you don't miss a thing. Stick with us to find out who's going to win it all at Phoenix.
Capital Subaru, we value your time. Whether you're here for service or working with our amazing sales team, everything is right here for your convenience. We offer a great selection of Subarus, an industry-leading service center that keeps you moving, and so much more. Like our living green wall, just one of the many features throughout our dealership. Looking for the perfect pet gift? Check out Happy Paws Pet Shop right here in our lobby. Or plan your next adventure in our fireside seating and find your happy place. It's always your time at Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
Welcome back to Phoenix Raceway. 20 laps to go to determine your Season 3 champion Joshua Watson out in front. Tyler Marble still in second, but the gap has extended now to 2 seconds. I think Tyler Marble may have used up whatever he had left in the tank. Behind Tyler Marble, Jeff Marble, the other championship contender, still in the running here tonight, currently sits in 11th. Looks like he is maybe starting to run out of gas as well. And then Austin Fitzgerald, you see back in 22nd. Most dominant car of the night. Unfortunately, technical issues caused him to wreck and took him ultimately out of this race. So with 19 laps to go, if you're Joshua Watson, I think you're in the same boat as what we saw earlier with Austin Fitzgerald. You really don't want to see a caution. Just keep this thing green and let him try to pull away is what he wants to see right now. We go further back here. Tyler Marble, still got a lot of pressure, and as a driver, that can kind of hinder your lap times as well. You want to focus out front, but when you got guys running this close, Jacob Musso, Jeff Shutt, Kyle Oakley, all trying to see if they can get up here and maybe get a second-place finish, it certainly makes you think a little bit harder, and you can't run maybe quite as fast as you want to, as Oakley's going to pick off another position, put him up to 4th. Jacob Musso trying to hold on to that final podium spot here tonight. Johnny McCulchuk, this could be a season-best run for the driver, the 72. He is now up to 6th, up 15 from where he started. Brett Spod fading up position. Brian Conklin back in 9th. Scott Glasso in 10th. There's Jeff Marble back in 11th. And I'll tell you what, I think the moral of the story of what we have seen here tonight at Phoenix is track position was king. And we saw Austin Fitzgerald out in front. I mean, by far had the most speed. May have been a different story if he was back in traffic. He still may have been able to get to the front, but these other guys here, we saw Watson struggle a bit in traffic, and we've seen now Tyler Marble and Jeff Marble struggling a bit in traffic. That's what it comes down to on these long green flag runs. And the gap now stretching to almost 3 seconds for Joshua Watson. We take another onboard view. He is laser focused right now, and I'm telling you, even though he's got no one around, these last 16 laps, they're going to feel like the longest ones of the season, as he is just wanting to see us get to that white flag and then ultimately see the checkered flag. Still got a little bit of a ways to go to do it. Quick reminder, next place Ghost Racing Network heads is tomorrow night to Tuesday Night Thunder for RMR Money Racing. Going to be back at the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway, and Dawson Wise joining in the call. Not 100% sure yet if I will be there or not. I do have the 3rd round of the College Series tomorrow at Dover. You can catch that on the iRacing YouTube channel. But back to the action we have on track here tonight. Going back a little further, besides, I'd say everybody in your top 5, everybody else has kind of got spread it out. A couple battles here and there. You see Brian Conklin, Scott Glasso going at it. Just behind them, there's Jeff Marble trying to hold off Adrian Watts. Adrian maybe going to take a look to the inside here, down into turn 3. And nothing doing there. Oh, Kyle Oakley. Oh, what happened here to Kyle Oakley? Kyle Oakley looks like, did he blink out? Oh, he did. Oh, man, another tough technical issue for a driver here tonight. Kyle Oakley was looking for his season, one of his season best finishes, 4th, maybe 3rd, maybe 2nd. And unfortunately, looks like he has disconnected from the session. Blinked out, as we call it. And man, oh man, Kyle was having a heck of a run here tonight. So Tyler Marble still in 2nd. Now started to pull away a little bit from Jacob Musso. Fortunately, though, not really gaining much on Joshua Watson. And you look at the track map, doesn't look like Watson's going to have to worry about too much, if any, lap traffic here the rest of the way. So right now, again, just continuing to tick off laps. 13 laps to go as they stand right now. And I think if you're Jeff Marble or Tyler Marble, the only chance here is going to be to get a caution. Tyler Marble, I think, has got a good shot at it here if we get a caution. But if you're Jeff Marble, again, not sure what sent him back to 17. Not sure if it's the damage and he was trying to fix it, or took tires and they just haven't been working out. But whatever strategy it was, the 15 car just kind of starting to fade here a little bit. Not really able to find any more speed. And I'll tell you what, however it ends for these 3 here tonight, it's been a great season for all of them. Everybody that got to the championship 4 had at least one. In fact, actually all of them had at least 2 wins on the season. And we'll see one of them go home with 1 more. If it's Watson, it'll be 16. If it's Tyler, it'll be 4. And if it's Jeff, it will be his 3rd of the season. And we talk about it, you can always build on momentum for the next season. The Daytona in general, I was going to say the 500, but the Capital Auto Daytona 250, one of the crown jewel races, just as big as a championship to a degree. And so, you know, a lot of guys will be trying to carry momentum into that race over the off season. But Joshua Watson still up front with now 10 laps to go. 4 seconds is the lead. We saw how good JBR Racing was at super speedways. And then it kind of branched off a little bit. We saw Danny Gutierrez and Joshua Watson make it to the first round of the playoffs. Both of them with a strong run through, but it was Joshua Watson who was able to carry the torch all the way to the finals here for JBRE Racing. And as he comes up on 9 laps to go, you know he can start to feel it just more and more. Just trying to run as smooth as possible. And talk about it all the time as a driver. At what point do you back yourself down, or do you back yourself down? I mean, when you're running fast like this and you know what's at stake, you get into a rhythm. And you almost run faster than you have all season. You feel like you can't make a mistake. Man, you always run the risk as what if, but the faster you run them, the quicker you can get to the end, and the quicker you can get your hands on that championship trophy. Make it 8 laps now to go. Further back, side by side between Alan Pajari and Brett Spod. Pajari going to dive all the way down to the dogleg on the inside, try to make up some position. Adrian Watts, good run here tonight. Still sitting inside the top 10. Cody Matthews as well. He's up 7 from where he started, but a good run inside the top 15. He currently sits in 12th. As Bill Benedict's going to try to make a move to the outside. Ooh, almost a little too high right there for Bill Benedict, as it looks like the car did not want to turn. He'll carry a lot of momentum down the front straightaway. Joshua Watson now working his way, getting ready to enter now down the back straightaway. Tyler Marble giving it all he's got, but just doesn't quite have enough from the look of it. Searching around, he's been trying everything. The driver of the 48, I think at this point he knows he's going to need a caution, so you just kind of do damage control, save what you got. I mean, heck, maybe, yeah, I don't know here at this point. Could think of a bunch of different strategies to try, but I just don't think any of them are going to be enough. And you hear how bad the 48 slide at this point. Take a listen here as he gets in turn 3 and 4. Yeah, I mean, you hear he is really, really trying to drive that thing deep into the corner. Just pushing for all he's got. And I want to show you something here in a minute. As he gets down here to turn 3 and 4. Takes it deep. Yeah, you see he's just sliding way up the track. The car just doesn't really want to turn for him right now. And I've had something similar to this before. Again, I can't really speak for exactly the way Tyler's car is handling, but it looks like as a driver, again, when you know what's on the line, you're pushing for everything you're worth. And sometimes you start pushing it too hard and you're really just hurting yourself. And in this case, watch Joshua Watson's turn 1 and 2. 3 and 4, excuse me. Stays patient a little bit longer. Notice how you don't really hear the tire scrub. Again, stays really, really patient. Boy, it pays off on exit as he gains a ton of time down the front straightaway. 4 laps to go now. Can he hold on? Looks like a little bit of lap traffic ahead. I think that's Glenn Grigsby in the 64. The only man left that he would have to worry about passing. If he even decides to pass him, he'll be coming to take 3 laps to go this time. It's been great all season. We've talked about it time and time again. If you're looking for a favorite, you can never go wrong with picking Joshua Watson. Felt like, though, probably had the second fastest car here tonight. Lap traffic certainly wasn't helping his cause. But a couple cautions and misfortune for what looked to be the fastest guy of the night, and Austin Fitzgerald has put the 0-1 in the lead with a 6-second lead, as we are going to come now to 2 laps to go. He wants to see that white flag. That would make this race official, whether they decide to wreck or not. So this will probably be the fastest lap that Watson feels like he runs this whole race. JBRE Racing, as an organization, one of the bigger teams in here. And you know how much it means, how much work these guys put in each and every week. But they all will tell you Joshua Watson, he's the master. He puts in the most time, the setups. Rocket Fast, Ryko helping these guys out. And you know, Ryko would like to see one of these guys bring home the championship. And that's looking like there's a good chance of it right now. White flag is in the air. Oh no, caution! Oh, I'm telling you, feet before we cross the start-finish line. Jeff Shutt has crashed. Oh my goodness. Joshua Watson is beside himself right now. He cannot believe that caution came out. He was, first of all, we got to see when this caution even came out. Remember, it's when they cross the start-finish line on the white flag lap that the race becomes official, and you see the reaction there. He's not happy about it, and you can't blame him. Oh, what has happened here? Ooh, some contact here between Tyler Marble and Jeff Shutt. You see Tyler on the inside. We talked about how hard Tyler was pushing, and that thing was really, really tight on him. But this starts a bit further back. See if we can get a better view here. Man, this starts really, really farther back. wonder if I missed something here. No, I didn't. Definitely was really aggressive, it looked like, on Tyler's part here. Coming into turn 1. And I apologize, I've mixed the turns up so much here tonight, but yes, this is turn 1 here. And he gets down into the turn, and he's going to try a crossover. Gets to the inside, and then just too tight, starts getting up the track here, and then that last lunge just kind of keeps making contact with him. And all that contact sends Jeff Shutt around. You see right here, Jeff Shutt. That second lunge right there, that's a really interesting look. I mean, it looked like Tyler's car didn't have anything left to handle. And man, Joshua Watson, he is not happy about it right now, and you cannot blame him. He might have saw what happened or heard, and he is saying, man, what the heck? You weren't going to catch me. What's going on here? Take a ride on board here with Tyler Marble. And actually, this is Jeff Shutt. And back this up. Excuse me, that's Jeff Marble here. We got to get to Tyler. And the reason I think Josh is up is because he knows what's getting ready to happen on this restart here with the aggression. And here you go, speed this up. And there you go. Tyler's going to try a crossover. Gets in the throttle and... I don't know about that one. I don't think Tyler meant to do it. I'm not saying that by any means, but certainly looks like we know Tyler's a little bit better than what was going on right there, in the sense of didn't look like the car had enough to stick. But again, in the cockpit, different things going on, so we'll give Tyler the benefit of the doubt on that one. But man, oh man, back up front, talked about Joshua Watson. That is not what he wanted to see, and oh, he's pit here. Tyler Marble has chosen to stay out. Watson's pit. I'll tell you, we're going to pause all this. We need to go get a word real quick with the driver of the 01 to figure out what he's thinking right now. Actually, I'm going to take that back. There's way too much on the line here. 1 to go, not enough time. We're going to let these guys stay zoned in, stay focused. I'm not sure. Unless it certainly wasn't fuel. Watson taking tires here. I'm really surprised Tyler stayed out. So you got to wonder. He's currently sitting back in 11th. Jeff Marble just behind Joshua Watson, but can the 48 hold on for 2 laps? Watson is going to need the restart of a lifetime right here. Can Tyler Marble hold on? Currently going to be leading. Tell you what, we are going to go and see if we can get a couple different angles. In fact, actually, we're going to go to the blimp cam for this one because this is going to be crazy. 2-lap shootout to decide the champion at Phoenix. Green flag is back in the air. It's a good jump for Tyler Marble. Further back, Joshua Watson sees the checkup. He's going to dive to the middle. 2 laps to go. He's not going to be cutting these guys any break as Tyler Marble drag races. They are 5, almost 6 wide. As they get down into turn 1, Jeff Marble's going to dive to the inside. Watson on the new tires, maneuvering, getting through. Oh, we got a big wreck in the back. Adrian Watts up to the wall. It's going to bring the caution back out. And that's exactly what Joshua Watson needed, some quick positions on new tires. Not so much what Tyler Marble wanted to see. Tyler Marble was able to hang on to the lead. But again, the more positions that he had on that 01, the better his chances were going to be. We'll have to see how these guys decide to go about this strategy. Now let's take a look at what exactly goes wrong right here. Saw Adrian Watts as the man that got turned hard into the outside wall. I mean, first of all, I'd say let's back this up a little bit further to this restart. I mean, look at this. These guys get, I don't even know how far out they fan. Let's see, we got 4 wide here at one point, and they're going to fan out even more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go 8, almost 8 wide. Yeah, 7 wide there for a moment. In the dog leg, make it 6, and they're all trying to get back up on track. And I don't know how they make it work. Jeff Marble barely clears the front bumper of Cody Matthews. But then getting down into turn 1, this is where things, fortunately, aren't going to work so much anymore. You see Adrian Watts trying to split the gap and just gets tight. Cody Matthews on the bottom starting to come up. The 03 tries to come up a little bit to give him some room, but the 37's there. And that's what turns Adrian Watts hard into the outside wall. So we'll take a couple different views of it real quick. I cannot get over that restart. In fact, let's go take a view here of this restart, see if we can from the static. mean, this was by far the craziest restart we've seen all night, but I mean, we're at that point, right? Guys have got to lay it all out there. That's what they're willing to do, and here you go from TV static as they all try to get back up on track. Eventually, it's just not going to work. That's a tough break for Adrian Watts, though. He'd been having a good night going up to this point. Ooh, that's a hard hit for Brian Conklin as well. And so as we go back live, it is going to be Tyler Marble with the lead, Alan Pajari second, Jacob Musso third, and Johnny McCulchuk fourth. Brett Spod rounding out your top 5. But let's see if we get the one-to-go signal this time. If we don't, I'm going to go see if we can pull up Joshua Watson for an interview. Man, you don't know what guys are thinking in a lot of these races, but the championship especially, as, yep, looks like we're going to get one more, at least 2 more laps here of caution. So we will head over, see if we can pick up Joshua Watson for a quick word. And it looks like, actually, I guess we're not going to be able to. That's unfortunate. Don't see him down in the Discord channels. Not sure if they have a private channel or if they're just not in the Discord right now, so we're not going to be able to get a word here with Josh, but we will go ahead and get a word with your current leader, Tyler Marble, another one of your championship contenders here tonight, trying to hold on for these last couple of laps. All right, let's see what he's thinking. Hey, Tyler, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes.
All right, well, man, you're feeling the pressure right now, but if you can hold him off for 2 more laps, you'd be crowned a champion. What's going to be the game plan right here?
Just manage the wheel spin, and whatever happens, happens here. I mean, Watts is on fresher tires, and yeah, but just hold on to see what happens here. Don't have to win the race. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Definitely don't want to be crowned the champion after that caution, but whatever happens, happens here.
All right, well, good luck here these next 2 laps. We'll see if you can bring it home.
Thank you.
And there you go. I think that tells you all we need to know about what we saw with that caution. Again, we didn't think it was intentional. I just felt like Tyler was maybe pushing it too hard. But again, it's so hard as a driver, and I think he realized it as soon as it happened that, man, maybe I should have just let him go. But when you get a second chance here, you can't let it go to waste. You got to have a short memory. Get it out of your head, because if you can hold on, or I should say hold off that 0-1 for 2 laps right here, and you could be crowned a champion. We're going to go back to the blimp cam because they're going to fan out, and we need to see all of it. It is going to be overtime number 1 from Phoenix. Who is going to win the Season 3 championship? Green flag is back in the air. Big jump for Tyler Marble. Did a good job, and here comes Joshua Watson up the middle with a good restart as well. All the lanes going to part as Jacob. Oh, Watson gets turned. Watson gets into the outside wall. He's able to save it, but that's going to cost him here. Trying to get some wheel back in it here. He was able to hold on. Still has fresh tires. He's still making ground. More contact out back as everybody's trying to save it. And looks like they are all going to here. Going to be coming to the final lap. Joshua Watson's telling Jacob Musso, you have got to get out of the way. I've got to go. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go at Phoenix. Can Watson get there, or can Tyler Marble hold on? Joshua Watson going through 1 and 2, trying to put all the pressure on. I don't think he's going to have enough. Alan Pajari down in his lane. Tyler Marble final time down the back straightaway. Joshua Watson going to make one final lunge as he dives to the inside. It's going to send it in as far as it'll go. Gets to the back bumper. It's not going to be enough. Out of turn number 4, Tyler Marble wins the Season 3 championship. Oh, we got one flipping Jeff Marble upside down as they come across the line. But he does it. Tyler Marble wins the Season 3 championship. Heartbreak for Joshua Watson. Came within feet of basically winning it when that caution came out. Comes up just short, and the enthusiasm definitely doesn't look like it's there right now for Tyler Marble. Is felt bad about that last caution, but man, oh man. Coming across the line, we'll see if we get a burnout here or not. As it's not looking like it right now. He's going to park it, and there is some talking going on in chat right now. I'm telling you, these guys are not too happy with each other. All right, so before we look at anything else here, let's take a look at your finishing results for the night. Tyler Marble brings home second. Joshua Watson with the last-ditch effort comes up just a little bit short. Jeff Marble finishes third. Alan Pajari in fourth. Jacob Musso in fifth. Jeff Shutt in sixth. Scott Glasso seventh. Cody Matthews in eighth. Bill Benedict ninth. And it's Johnny McCulchuk rounding out your top 10. Jared Bundy back in 11th. Brett Spod in 12th. Thomas O'Hara 13th. Andrew Kotska back in 14th. Glenn Grigsby in 15th. Brian Conklin 16th. Adrian Watts back in 17th. Danny Gutierrez finishes up in 18th. And it's going to be Kyle Oakley and Richard Elliott rounding out your top 20. Cody Richardson finishes 21st. Austin Fitzgerald 22nd after the technical issues. Ryan Haynes in 23rd. Jeffrey Souza 24th. Dave Sanders 25th. Andrew Russo in 26th. And it's going to be Cody Colley finishing out the field in 27th. All right, we are going to go get your top 3 here geared up for interviews, and we should have some good ones here tonight, so stick around for them. We'll talk to your championship winner, Tyler Marble, in just a moment. We'll be right back. All right, and we're going to start first tonight with your third place finisher, Jeff Marble, who we saw flipping across the start-finish line. Jeff, you got a copy?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, well, you bring home third tonight. You see a teammate get the championship, come up just a little bit short there. You think if you had another lap or two, you could have made it happen?
Who knows? 0-1 had fresh tires too. Yeah, as league owner, I'm not happy about it. The whole situation in general. Yeah, apologize to everybody in the league. So it's just, I don't know. It's just the bottom line is Austin Fitzgerald had the fastest car on the racetrack tonight. It was pretty much his championship to lose. So he had everybody covered. I hate it. It is what it is. People are going to think what they want to think. I get it. But yeah, well. People want to leave because of it, so be it. We'll just go keep recruiting. It is what it is.
All right, well, before we let you head out here tonight, is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out for the final time in Season 3?
Well, first of all, you and Ghost Racing Network. Without you guys, our name wouldn't be out there. And, man, I'm just... This fucking race, I'm sorry for cussing. This race was so awesome until an unfortunate incident with Fitzgerald's computer. And I really wanted to stay green. I would have been perfectly content with third. Yeah. Ghost Racing Network, Alloy Wheel Repair Specialists, Sim Racer Hub, Butt Kicker. We're giving away a Butt Kicker tonight. iRacingIFly.com. Oh, hell. If I forgot any. Oh, Capital Auto Group. Yeah. I'm irritated. I'm sad, pissed, the whole 9 yards. It's a black eye for sure for the league brand. So, all right. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us, and congrats again on the third place finish here tonight. Hopefully we'll see you back next season.
Yeah, we'll be here.
All right, and it looks like Joshua Watson currently not in post-race interviews, so we're going to jump straight to your championship contender, but we're going to get him up on the big screen here, so give me just a moment. Tyler Marble, man, oh man, it was a crazy way to see the finish. But nonetheless, he was able to find a way to get it done at the end. So here we go. Let's see if we can get a quick word here with your championship contender. Excuse me, championship winner. Hey, Tyler, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, man, I know Things maybe didn't go the way you wanted it to at the end, but nonetheless, you are a Season 3 champion. You got to be happy about it somewhat. Those last 2 laps came down to within feet of Joshua Watson getting there, but you hold on. How you feeling?
I don't feel like a champion. Be honest with you, I don't want to win it that way. It looks real bad. I brought out what happens to be what brought out the green white checkers there. There was trust me, I was out of the throttle trying to give him a chance. I did not want to put him in the wall there, and there was no intent. I was just trying to make sure I keep second just in case a late race caution didn't happen, but I turned out to be the caution. So I feel real bad, and definitely don't want to win the race and the championship like that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel real bad.
Well, it was still a great win nonetheless tonight. Before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out for the final time in Season 3?
Yeah, I thank everybody that came out the whole season. Alloy, Real Repair Specialists, Capital Auto, who else? Butt Kicker, Sim Racer Hub, you. I can't forget you for broadcasting. You do a great job. I think that's it. Teammates, and yeah, I feel bad. Austin had a great car. He's pretty damn good here. Sucks what happened to him. I feel bad. I took out Shut there and wrapped Watson, but yeah, it's been a great season, and I'm looking forward to next year.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us here tonight. Again, congrats on not only the win, but securing the championship for Season 3. Hopefully we'll see you next season. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
And I'm not going to lie. I think I started to kind of mismatch my words there towards the end, so I apologize for that. But I'm still trying to process, even up here in the booth, I mean, what we saw throughout that entire race. I mean, the first half, team, you know what's going to happen. The second half, forget it. Could not even begin to tell you how that race was going to end. Boy, was it chaotic. Nonetheless, that is going to wrap up our coverage here tonight for the final time in the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series for Season 3. Thank you all so much for a great season, for coming out. Thank you to everybody in the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series for all they do here at Ghost Racing Network, letting us broadcast. It was a great season to broadcast, and we'll see if we're back for next season. We'll have more on that later. Hope you all enjoyed for the final time, and have a good night.